Well, hello and welcome to chapter 61, the beginning of season 5 of The Last Thoughts of a Busy Mind. This one is named 2022. Now, a disclaimer, I still don't know, there might be part 1 next to this. If there is, that means that I couldn't get to everything that I needed to talk about in one episode, which would be a first. So, if that's the case, welcome to the first two-parter. If not, that meant I talked very fast because we have a lot to get to. Before we start, though, I was recently a guest on a politically entertaining with evolving randomness, and there is a link to it in the description. We had a recording. The episode will come out in a couple of days. So there is that. When the episode comes out in the next episode, I will put a link to that in the description as well. But so far, you can listen to the podcast. It was an okay recording. We had a lot of fun. I talked about civilization and Rome Total War, and I shit talked Michael Bay a lot, which is something very fun that I always love to do. My drink today, by the way, is blue curacao syrup and water. So, yeah, it's a return of the classic. First of all, one of the things that I talked about last time was compiling all of the episodes into one file. I did that. But I don't know why I need to share that because honestly, it's much less useful than I thought it would be. The first thing I learned, by the way, is that I have improved significantly because the first season is so slow, like really slow. Anyways, what is the game plan for today? Um, Back in 2021, the first day of 2021, I released an episode which was chapter 21 called 2021. And I talked about all of my plans for 2021, and I said later in the year I will listen to it and see how I've done. I didn't do it later in the year, but it's the beginning of 2022, and so we have a couple of things on our agenda. First, looking at the plan I had for 2021, then looking at some of the stuff that happened in 2021, and then planning for 2022. So, yeah, I might not get to all of them in this episode. So, without further ado, let me take a sip of my drink. The ratio is not good. It tastes a lot more watery than I like. But let's go with 2021 plan. I will talk about all of the stuff that happened and didn't happen, and then in the retrospective, I will sort of cross them off. First in the plan was making my movie, and by my movie I meant Sand, which is a long and arduous process. For those of you who have listened to this for a long while, you have heard the name a lot. Now, that did not happen. At the time when I was recording this, I was supposed to film the movie in like 2 months. It didn't happen. It ended up not going as well. I made a documentary instead. And then, in a couple of weeks ago, during the hiatus, I shelved the movie. It will not be made, at least at the moment, due to budgetary reasons. And generally, you've heard me talk about this before. A sense that it's not good enough. So, Sand will not happen, but we'll get to plans for 2022 later. So, that didn't happen. So when that didn't happen, the second one, which was filming behind the scenes, it's a series that I like to do, talking about all of the stuff that happened behind the scenes of Sand. Well, Sand didn't get made, so behind the scenes didn't get made. That sort of goes hand in hand. Then keeping on with the last thoughts of a busy mind. That was in the plan, and I'm kind of glad that I kept on with it. This is the start of season 5. I've been doing this for 60 chapters, including 3 special chapters. So, if you haven't, there is a link in the description for the last special chapter, which happened at the last day of 2021. It came out at the last day of 2021. It was a very fun one, more loose than the other ones, and I loved it. So, Last Thoughts of a Busy Mind is actually the only constant that I had from 2020 to 2022. It's the thing that kept on going. It didn't have any fluctuations. There were times I really didn't want to continue it. Part of me still doesn't want to continue it. But honestly, it's the only constant. I'm gonna continue doing it, even if it doesn't have an audience. Who cares? It has me. The fourth one is kind of hurtful. It's writing the rest of my novel. I was writing a novel at the end of 2020 called Goodbye Beautiful. And in the 2021 episode, in chapter 21, I talked about finishing the novel in either 2021 or the first half of 2022. The problem is I haven't touched it at all in 2021. I've read it a lot, sort of reminding myself that, you need to go back and write more. I did not. I don't know why. I still like the idea, and I've been thinking about it. I've been expanding it off the page, but the act of sitting down and writing it has not happened. And so I would say this hurts, honestly. This hurts because I haven't written any fiction in 2021, and it hurts. So, as it's obvious, it did not end in 2021, and I very much doubt it will end in the first half of 2022, when even the first part of it has 5 parts, and each of them is like a couple of chapters. So the first part is not even finished, and that is the easiest one because it's the introductory stages. So a lot of stuff are being explained, and not a lot of themes are there. So that's it. The next one also hurts. It's losing weight and eating healthy, which, as my drink choice right now indicates, did not happen. I did start working out in the summer, and that had a lot of effects, but I don't think with my current lifestyle it really matched well. The days I had to work out were basically doomed days because I couldn't do anything before it and I couldn't do anything after it. So I've stopped, and I haven't lost much weight, and I'm certainly not eating healthier. Thankfully, recently I did a blood test and it wasn't too worrying. I had high uric acid, but that's that one came from good genes. Good family genes gave me high uric acid. So that one didn't happen. In number 6 is going back to YouTube, which did happen. TGTBT. I was burned. But this is also an arbitrary, goal that I made for myself, that 500 subs before the end of 2021. The fact of the matter is I've lost 1 subscriber. So I'm around 60. So that is not good. But as I said, it was arbitrary, and honestly, I came back to YouTube a lot later than I thought I would. I came back to YouTube. I thought I will be back like around March. I came back in September. So of course, by the time so far I've had 3 new videos. Granted, they have a lot more work than Born in Quarantine was, but still, not a good back catalog of videos for TGTBTI. There is Born in Quarantine, of course, but TGTBTI itself, not a lot of fanfare as it's said. There is a link in the description for that too. I should write down all of this stuff that I'm gonna put a link to in the description because I'm prone to forgetting them. So there is this special chapter and AK88 and the podcast I was on. I'm sorry, you have to see me go to my taxes. Number 7. Learning color grading and Photoshop. None of them happened. Mostly because I'm pretty sure my laptop cannot handle another one of those big graphical softwares. I can learn to do it. I did try to do it a bit more, but with presets mostly. Like most of TGTBTI, the 2 episodes, Omerta and Sweeney Todd, were color graded using presets. So they didn't look as unprofessional, but I couldn't do it myself. And Photoshop, I haven't learned. I'm still using Canva for thumbnails. So there is that. I should learn them. And I guess it didn't happen in 2021. I need to wait until I get a new laptop, I guess. Oh, number 8. This one also hurts. The watch party. At the end of 2021, we did a watch party of It's a Wonderful Life. And I talked about, that was really fun. I want to keep doing it. I want to do it the last Friday of every month. And I especially mentioned watching the Sunita stage recording, which we did. We went on until November. And then in December, I asked people if they're going to be in it. I did not get a lot of good reactions out of that, so we stopped. The watch party is normal. It happened for less than a year. I think we watched 10 movies. So that also hurts. But it's just very disheartening. I didn't want to go and watch the movie by myself, which I had to do once. I watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre by myself, which wasn't fun. And because I've seen the movie, I don't need to watch it online with a lower quality. The fact of the goal of the watch party was, watching it together. But, who cares? Number 9, writing essays and watching more movies, which leads to writing more reviews on Letterboxd. That sort of happened. I haven't written a lot of essays, but I've written scripts for sort of video essays. They're not video essays, they're mostly just videos. But watching more movies, I did. I still have a huge backlog that I need to get to, but I watched a lot of 2021 movies, which was good. I have to thank Muhammad, and because of our podcast, which we'll talk about when we get to 2021 retrospective, I managed to watch a lot of 2021 movies. So I watched a lot more movies than I thought. I still watch a lot of TV shows. I'm watching Cheers now, and it's really fun. And for each movie I watched, I wrote a review on Letterboxd. So that's the crazy dream that is still going on. My Letterboxd is not very expansive. It doesn't show every movie I watched because I'm planning on writing a review for every single movie that I'm going to see. It's stupid. It's stupid, but I'm doing it. Number 10, expanding my social circles. Sort of. Really sort of. The fact is, I've gotten closer to a lot of people. A few friends I've gotten very close to. A few I've grown a bit of distance from. COVID is still a thing, and it's still a very scary thing. So that is understandable for me. I'm not very mad or disappointed at the results. But yeah, the social circles have not expanded. They've shifted slightly. Then number 11 was getting my IELTS degree and live Iran. Which, I mean, if you cannot tell, I'm still in Iran. By the way, I'm recording this at 9:30 a.m. So, it's not the usual middle of the night stuff. So by the time it goes out, it's probably around noon. Because I need time to get the video ready. So that did not happen. Of course, I'm still in Iran. But I went one step closer. I did my mock IELTS to see what I need to do. Turns out not much. I'm good. I should have just gone ahead and did the actual IELTS. And on top of that, I'm finally getting my passport after so many years that it's been revoked. It will probably come out in the next week, by the way. So very close to that. And number 12, last but not least, YASP. YASP happened again, season 2 of YASP. We had a good time. I think we had a great time. A lot of tension there still, but we did 11 episodes. I'm proud of 7 of them. And we talked about a lot of fun stuff. So, and on top of that, we started the YAR. We started the YAS YAR, which is a video format for YASP YouTube channel. Oh, why not put a link to YASP's YouTube channel in the description? And okay, so the batteries in my voice recorder ran out. That's not good. So there is gonna be a slight jump in the editing. I need to edit this one. Barely. But okay. So there was also Yasser, which is yet another short reaction, which is a short format episodes that we do for various stuff that we need to just have an instant reaction to. We had only one so far for the death of the great Stephen Sondheim. So that was the plan for 2021. As I said, this will definitely be a two-parter. So welcome to chapter 61, 2022, part 1. So that was the plan. To be honest, I don't feel as bad as I thought I would, because despite the fact that a lot of the stuff that I said did not happen, or didn't happen the way I wanted to, or did not match my expectations, a lot of other stuff happened that were very good. And I don't know if I can get to the retrospective right now with only a minute left. I mean, let's start. For the first thing, I started a fucking relationship. That one I did not expect. So when I talked about expanding my social circles, I did not expect that. And that is still, I still can't believe it. I still can't believe it that I have someone in my life that I can call my girlfriend, and I love her, and I know she likes me. So there is that. That for those of you who are wanting an update on that, there is that. I still can't believe it. You can't see me, but I'm moving my hand like crazy. And we haven't seen each other for a couple of weeks. She has gotten COVID, sadly, and nothing serious, thankfully. But I miss her terribly. I don't think I can get to talk about anything else other than the fact that I started a fucking relationship. So we'll keep the rest of the retrospective and the plans for 2022 for part 2 coming to you next week. So don't forget to send me a message on Anchor. If you send a message, it will be played at the beginning of the next episode. So there is that. There is a link in the description for you on YouTube, and anywhere else you can go to Anchor. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and talk with me. I will see you next week.